Welcome back to my channel, my folks. My folks, in this particular video, I would like to simply, simply, counter-examine, guys, the things, whichsoever I told, or rather explicated, or rather I expositioned, or rather I eruditioned, guys, in the past videos. So, guys, in all the videos, whichsoever, I have made so far, till date, not all the videos on my YouTube. Basically, not all the videos. There happen to be multiple playlists, by the way. But the videos about the lab-grown meat, which I've made, guys, I somewhere think, guys, that those videos are somewhere incomplete, guys, in providing an accurate explanation, or rather an accurate definition, guys, as to what exactly are the potential concerns, or rather the actual uh, what are the actual difficulties and stuff, which the geneticists or even the bioethicists, guys, in the industry are facing. And guys, number one of that thing, which I already told, which I obviously told you, was the fetal bovine serum. But the fetal bovine serum, is simply not a good growth medium, which you can rely on to, right now, because it even has got some potentially negative implications, guys. As I've already told you, that fetal bovine serum is basically extracted, from the from the fetal calf, which is basically present in the fetal stage, pre-birth, where it's maturing. Number one, that cow was accidentally, killed by an abattoir, or rather by a butcherman, or rather a slaughter, guys. That calf of that cow, is basically extracted. And on examining the blood element, or rather the blood entities, present in that so-called calf, guys, you can very well, come across that so-called element, which happens to be known very well, as the fetal bovine serum. Now, guys, what is this fetal bovine serum? Now, I've already, I've already, explained that. So, for the people, who are watching this video for the first time, still it's no issue. But for the people, who think, that they have missed a lot of it, guys, they have missed a lot of information, you're gonna feel free, guys, to go back and just dwindle back, guys, dwindle backwards, guys, to see my old videos, guys, which I've made, guys, for this so-called topic under the general awareness scheme, basically, for the purpose of educating you and providing a free exchange of knowledge and information, guys, and propagation and or rather promulgation of that information. So you can obviously find a link in that link to that former videos, guys, in the description below. So please do click it, and please do click it, and please do go and watch it. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, guys. So my friends, the thing which I gotta say here is that fetal bovine sedum, guys, because of its non-animal friendliness, it seems to be an one great concern, guys, for us. And the other concern, which we basically even have is, guys, that basically the cost of the production of lab-grown meat, guys, are simply is simply taken as a point, guys, by all the skepticists, or rather the people who have got so many counterintuitive ideas, guys, to basically try to potentially ban it, or rather potentially disrupt, or rather obliterate, or rather interrupt the process of research, or interrupt the process of its propagation, or rather its free establishment, or rather institutionalization. So, guys, that cost, the financial cost, happens to be a great concern. And even the fetal bovine serum, guys, because the fetal bovine serum, as I've already told you, guys, that it's not 100% vegetarian. I mean, basically, fetal bovine serum is not at all vegetarian, guys. Like, basically, it can be supplemented along with some of the another synthetic chemicals, or synthetically organic elements or entities, which you can actually extract by the inner systems of the vegetative propagation, or and vegetative propagation, or and great firm knowledge in the botanical science, guys. But still, guys, it happens to be a great challenge, guys, which our scientists and engineers and doctors are basically facing, guys, to basically resurrect that so-called growth medium, guys, directly from the trees, or rather plants, or rather from the vegetation. Now, that seems to be a simply difficult thing, guys, because in the plants and stuff, you're simply never really gonna find those all elements which are enriched in animals. Like, obviously, as you know, that I'm not trying to to undermine the vegetarian diet or rather the plant-based diet. Basically that's the best thing, and we as Indians are fundamentally known to be vegetarians, obviously. But still, one thing which I gotta tell you guys is that obviously the plant entities or rather the plant entities or rather the vegetation guys does not simply consist or comprise of so much of elements guys which are basically crucial for that process of for that process of engineering and another growth medium which is as good enough like the fetal bovine serum FBS. And guys, which is why it's basically a great brainstorm for all the scientists which are basically working day and night guys in the laboratories guys in Irvine, California, even in San Francisco, and even at the Rosalind Institute, even an agglomeration New Delhi, by the way, for our Indians. So Bharat Mata ki jai. But guys, the thing seems to be that that seems to be a great concern, guys, for us, obviously. And obviously the cost which I told you guys, the cost about the lab grown meat guys is apparently is under an great reduction guys which is a thing guys which is obviously explained by the trickle down economics guys the economics of the president of the United States, Ronald Reagan. So guys, the economics of Ronald Reagan, the trickle down economics, and some of the schemes guys which Shri Arun Jaitley she himself used guys for the purpose of cultivation of lab grown meat guys when he was basically while he was the minister guys. Those are methodologies should be relied on too, but those two great gentlemen guys like Ronald Reagan and even Shri Arun Jaitley she basically voted no more. But whatsoever it is, that was a distraction. But the thing which I gotta say is, guys, that the costs of the lab-grown meats, guys, are simply haunting us. Because guys, back in 2013, a single steak or rather a single hamburger, guys, a beef hamburger or whatsoever it is, hamburger explains it all, guys, used to cost a lot, guys, and when it was unveiled, guys, to the television, guys, and on one so-called off the center episode, guys, of some Master Chef and stuff, which took place back in some 2013, and at that time, that lab-grown meat or artificially engineered, burger, was unveiled, for the first time, on the front of a television. But guys, that unveiling, guys, had created a great degree of competition, guys, amongst all the countries, guys. And by the way, Singapore, guys, was the first ever country, guys, to basically accept it, to basically accept the institutionalization or rather vast high-scale propagation or rather advocacy or rather spreading or rather distribution of the lab-grown meat. Like basically, Singapore is one of the first countries, basically the first countries, and one of the countries in which you might find the lab-grown meat at a conventional restaurant. Like in India, guys, there happen to be a lot of startup companies, from agglomeration New Delhi and agglomeration Gurugram, and even somewhere in Bangalore, agglomeration Bangalore, which are basically trying to come up, with artificially engineered meat, guys, the lab-grown meat. But the thing seems to be, guys, that the thing which I was talking about, that lab-grown meat, guys, back in 2013, it was simply costly. But basically, that competition, which was created, guys, amongst all the nations and stuff, guys, simply, resulted to a great degree of, an expediency, guys, in the methods of development, or rather in the scientific research methodologies. And by the way, guys, there happen to be lots of outer scale industries, which are basically, which have basically already institutionalized the lab-grown meat, like the Just Foods, like the Macron Foods, like even the one Singaporean company, and even Just Burgers, guys, and even another company, guys, have basically institutionalized, and they are selling the lab-grown meat, guys, in the United States of America, basically in San Francisco, and even in Singapore, and even in Malaysia. But guys, the thing seems to be, guys, that the lab-grown meat, which those countries are developing right now, guys, are happening to be cost efficient right now, guys. But in the future, guys, they have a median projection, guys, to even decrease the rates, guys, of that lab-grown meat, so much, guys. Like, if you compare the graph of 2013, guys, it has decreased a lot, guys. Like in 2013, guys, a single hamburger, used to cost a lot. But right now, a single hamburger, guys, is simply costing like $15, guys, at Just Foods. But one thing, which I gotta tell you is, guys, that, if you look at the economical overlook, or rather at the economic outlook, guys, of the lab-grown meat, that you will potentially find a lot of issues, not exactly now, but more about the fetal bovine serum, which is basically the growth medium, which is actually, used for the purpose of artificially formulating that thing, in the laboratory, that made in the laboratory. That's the thing, which you're gonna come up with. But the thing, which I gotta tell you is, guys, that it's simply, not gonna be so easy, guys, to develop and develop an plant-based substitute for the growth of plant-based substitute, guys, for a fetal bovine serum, guys. But it's possible, guys. So guess we all should stay absolutely optimistic for it, and guys, we all should work in a confluence and in a great nexus and in a great having a great spirit of cooperation, guys, amongst us, guys, such as to opt for establishing that at a vast scale, and let's make India, guys, great again. And we Indians, should pledge an allegiance, guys, to us, guys, that we Indians, are gonna make India slaughter-free. We're gonna make India a nation, where there are absolutely no slaughterhouses, where there are no abattoirs, and we're gonna make it in such a manner, guys, that the lab-grown meat in a vast scale, guys, is propagated and even advocated and even basically promulgated, guys, in India. So, guys, let's work together, guys, in a spirit of cooperation, guys, and have an amnesty, guys, between amnesty between ourselves, and have an amity, guys, amongst us, guys, to work for it. So that's what I wanted to say, and see you and have a great day, and Jai Hind and Bharat Mata Ki Jai, and Jai Bhavani, Jai Shivaji. Bye, guys. And obviously, Arun Jitli Shi Ki Jai Ho. See you. Bye bye, guys.